Welcome to the Daily for Tuesday, June 18th with Simon Borg. I'm Jason Saghini, and first off, have to congratulate Tim Cahill and the Socceroos. They are headed to Brazil in 2014 for their third straight World Cup after a 1-0 victory this morning. And Simon, speaking of World Cup qualifying, obviously the U.S. against Honduras, a big game tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. As they prepare for this Honduras team, they are inching closer and closer to qualification, and some people think it's in the bag.
Yeah, Jason, 16, 17 points in the hexagonal basically gets you through, gets you that ticket to the World Cup. They have 10, a win tonight, which you'd expect against the Honduras team, missing so many starters, and the U.S. at home. They get those 3 points, they're at 13. So with 4 games to go, they should get the points they need. But to me, this game is very indicative about the lineup. Jermaine Jones was out due to concussion last game. Jeff Cameron was the man of the match. Does Jones slot in? If he slots in, then I think Klinsmann really has his starting 11 in his head, and he's going to stick with it.
All right, our own Matt Doyle is out in Salt Lake, and he filed this report.
Thanks, guys. I'm in Salt Lake City, where the U.S. had their final run-through ahead of their qualifier against Honduras, and the theme of the practice was confidence. This is a U.S. team who has 3 shutouts in their last 4 qualifiers, and they want to keep that going into the game against the Catrachos.
I think we're really looking forward to that match. It's a big one, and I mentioned it a couple of days ago already. It's a 6-pointer. It's huge. You know, I think the team did very well in the previous 2 games, and you need now to add those 3 points.
Our performances have been good, and obviously the results have been great. So, you know, I kind of think that in general we feel good about ourselves. Listen, this is a simple business. If you win, you feel like a world beater. If you lose, you feel like the worst player in the world. But at the moment, we're winning, so we need to carry that on. We've got a long time now between this game and September, so we want to have a good taste in our mouth come Tuesday night, knowing that we've done a good job.
Once again on Monday, Bruce Arena going back to his old bag of tricks, picking up a veteran from the World Cup who has played with him. Pablo Mastroeni traded from the Colorado Rapids to the LA Galaxy. LA also picks up the rights to Baggio Husidic, former Chicago Fire midfielder, and they send over to Colorado a second-round draft pick and an international spot.
We've seen Arena do this, Jason, before. Guys like Jovan Karofsky, Greg Berhalter, Kobe Jones, Clint Mathis. It helps him build the culture around his club, and he's doing it now with Pablo Mastroeni. Now, the Galaxy have fielded young lineups in recent weeks, and we've seen how they've been hurting without that veteran presence. Mastroeni brings that. They could slot him in as early as Wednesday against the Portland Timbers in place of the suspended Marcelo Sarvas. But I think long-term, he could also help at center back. They've been hurting at times, especially when Omar Gonzalez is away on national team duty. So Mastroeni is very versatile.
All right, well, as far as Oscar Pereira on the Colorado Rapids, picking up an international spot's important for them. We've seen that Latin American influence that he's been able to bring in there. And as far as the central midfield, they're stacked there right now with Dylan Powers, Nate Sturgis now really coming to his own, and Hendry Thomas, of course. Pablo Mastroeni was on the bench. He wasn't that happy, so they ship him to LA and they get something back for him. Announced this morning will be a new series on the NBC Sports Network, MLS Insider. It's being produced by Emmy Award winner Jonathan Hawk, who you might know from several ESPN 30 for 30 movies, including Survive and Advanced and The Best That Never Was, also Unguarded. So he's told a lot of great sports stories in the past, and now he's bringing his talents to MLS, Simon.
And Jason, fans have been clamoring for that weekly MLS show. Now they have it, and it's in the hands of someone who's an expert at bringing out the color and the culture of the game. And I think this is going to go a long way to create more fans.
All right, you can check out the premiere of that Friday night on the NBC Sports Network. Well, it's Tuesday, so let's take a look at the latest Castrol Index update. Topping the list, San Jose goalkeeper John Bush.
And Jason, from that same game for Colorado, Nate Sturgis coming in at number 2. We talked about him before. He may have influenced that Mastroeni trade happening. At 3, Donovan Riga to the Portland Timbers comes back with a bang for the Timbers. And then at number 4, Kenny Miller, who was the player of the week in MLS for Vancouver. He's at 4. And at 5, Diego Chara of the Portland Timbers, another monster game for them.
All right, that's all we have for the Daily today. Don't forget to check out Power Rankings on MLSsoccer.com later on, and we'll be back on the Daily tomorrow.